What's up, my poker players? Hope you guys are killing it out on the tables. Today we've got part 2 of a losing poker session that I had, but it's got a ton of interesting situations, so let's jump right into it. If you guys want to go back to part 1 of this video, here's the link. First hand, we have ace queen offsuit get called by the small blind. Flop is king high, pretty dry, and this player has a decent full percentage on the flop, so I'm going to continuation bet. He doesn't bet very often. It's a pretty tight, pretty low aggression player post flop, and he makes a call, but we hit a pretty good card there on the turn. Kind of pretty much the only card you want to hit when you get called with a flop like that. So we're going to continuation again, get some value out of the straight and flush draws that could be out there from this player, and it's one draw hit out of the many that are out there. So I think our hand is pretty good here. I think we can bet or call. We can call any bet and bet if it checks to us. So I'm going to try to get value out of a hand like a king here, representing a missed draw, and hopefully we get called by this player who has a very high call frequency on the river. And he does make a call. Pick up a small pot there. Thank you very much. Next hand we're looking at is also ace-queen offsuit. I actually think this video starts out with 5 ace-queen offsuits in a row. Make a standard raise from middle position to 3x. Folds around to the big blind, who is a loose, aggressive player. High betting frequencies, pretty low fold frequencies, but shows down pretty well so far over only 92 hands that we have on this player. I make a continuation bet because he does call a lot pre-flop. At this point, I figure I'm probably beat. Maybe I can showdown cheap and beat a draw that misses. All the draws miss. Let's see if I can beat a draw that missed. He winds up having ace-queen as well. Wow, that is a big-time call on the flop with just an ace-queen. Mark that guy as a fish in the notes. So we're looking at ace-queen again. We have an early position raise under the gun plus 1, and we have a call from that player we were just in a hand with, the very loose player. I'm just going to make a call here. We have fish to our right. See if I can't see a cheap flop. You could argue with me about raising. What would you guys think? Or what would you guys do? Would you raise here? That's a tough one. Pretty dry board, pair of 5s, and an ace high, and we have a raise all in right away. I'm just going to get rid of the ace-queen there. Not really sure why I put that one in here. It's kind of an interesting hand. We have an all-in with a 10-9 suited. He hit his 10 on the flop, and Jack's call. That was crazy. That's a weird bet with a 10-9. You're only going to get called with hands that beat you right there, so why would you make that play? Play your hand out, you know? That's all I can say about that one. That was ridiculous. Mark that guy as a fish as well. Now we're looking at ace-queen suited from the button. Again, we have 3 players in front of us in. Parker started out with a raise in early position. That's a regular who is probably only going to be playing strong hands in early position. He does not continuation bet, so I don't think he has aces or kings. Might have missed an ace king or a hand like that. So I'm going to come out and make it a half pot size bet. And we have these 2 fish who are still in 50 grays of shade, and Big Daddy 2802. 2802 makes the call. See a 10 of hearts on the turn. Gonna make a pretty large bet. Make any queen, smaller kicker, pay. None of the draws really hit. I don't think he was playing a 5 deuce or a 5-7 here. So I'm going to continuation bet again on the river with this player who has a high call frequency, and he makes a fold. Thought maybe we could get more value out of a queen there. I don't think he could fold a queen at that point in the hand. And we're looking at ace-queen offsuit again. This time we are at the hijack seat. Make it 3x. Get a couple regulars and count spatula. Another nice name. That's creative. Well done. Must be a chef or something. And we hit top pair, top kicker on the flop. And I make a raise to 2/3 of the pot. He makes a call. This is a pretty draw heavy board, and we don't have much on this player. He's not a regular, so he could be a fish, and I make another 2/3 pot size bet on the turn, and we wind up hitting our 3 of a kind on the river, but I'm going to try to induce a bluff here with all the draws missing. So I check back on the river and let's see if he can make a big bet. He does make a very large bet. I'm gonna go all in here. I think 2-pair would have raised before on the flop or the turn with such a draw heavy board. So I'm just gonna go all in, and maybe he'll make a call with tens. Maybe he has a queen weaker kicker, and any draw that missed is just gonna fold. I think most of his range is weaker than us, and he does make a call with a jack kicker. There's no way he could have gotten rid of that one there. I think if we bet, maybe he just makes a call. He might have raised as well. Next hand we're looking at is pocket kings from under the gun. Make a bet to 4x from under the gun. This is a tougher position to play in again, so you want to make a little bit larger of a pre-flop raise. And we get called from 50 Grays of Shade, who we know isn't that strong of a player. I'm going to continuation bet, make it 2/3 of the pot. This is a pretty weak flop. Probably didn't connect with many of his hands. I mean, he could be playing 6-7, 6-5 suited maybe. I'm going to continuation bet again, see if I can't get value out of some middle pair that he could be playing to. And the flush draw missed. I'm just going to check back here, and I don't think there's a small chance he could be playing a 2 or possibly a 6. So I'm just going to check call anything on the river there, and he winds up having 9s. And now we're looking at pocket queens from the big blind. We've got a very deep stack for this table. We have an under the gun plus 2 limp and a raise right behind him from Spaghetti 1, who is a very regular player here. I've got 21,000 hands on this player already. He makes it 4x to play. Looks like an isolation bet. And we have 50 Shades of Gray, who we just got in a hand with. We know he's a loose player, but he 3-bet the pot there on the button. I'm just going to make a call and see what these other guys do. And Poker Life 11 goes all in. So he's slow playing something. I know that for sure. I can get rid of queens. And 50 Shades of Grey makes a call. That's one of those plays you'll see a lot of inexperienced players make, where they want to hide the value of big pairs pre-flop. So they'll just limp in and hope someone raises behind them, which is exactly what happened. But you have to get rid of queens there. The only hands that a non-regular player or fish are going to limp raise all in with are going to be aces, kings. Maybe a weaker player will do it with queens or ace king, but you're going to see that play a lot from inexperienced players, so put that one in the memory bank. And we have queens again. 50 Grays makes a raise. We're going to come over the top of him, make it 250 to go, a little bit bigger than 3 times his bet. He makes a call pre-flop, and we have a very low flop. Last time he made pretty much the same play with 9, so I'm going to come out firing 2/3 of the pot. Another 6. I'm going to bet again. I think most of his range is going to be pairs below us. We just saw how he plays aces, and he doesn't slow play them. And that's a pretty rough card for us. Pocket 8s hit right there. If he had pocket 7s, he hit. So I'm just going to check call pretty much anything he bets there. Try to induce a bluff from a missed flush. And we wind up beating him. I think he probably had a middle pair again. Maybe 9s, 10s, possibly jacks. And now we're looking at pocket 9s from under the gun. And we make it 3x a play. It folds all the way around to the small blind, who makes the call. So lasso, regular player, pretty tight, high fold on the flop turn and higher on the river. King high flop. I'm going to continuation bet here, and he comes out and min raises me. I don't want to give away the value of my hand by raising him again, so I'm just going to make a call here. I think maybe a king weak kicker will do that, so I'm going to try to make it a bet size that a king is going to call with. A flush will also call with. He does not call. He makes a fold. Would you guys have made a smaller bet there? Did I overbet that one a little bit? I wanted to try to get as much money in that pot as I could so I could make a large river bet. Don't know. But we have pocket 9s again, this time from the big blind. Back-to-back pocket 9s. And it folds all the way around to 50 Grays of Shade. He makes it 3x First clan is thinking, and he folds. This is one of those spots where you could raise, you could call, being out of position against this player. I'm just going to probably check call here. Another 5 on the turn. I don't think he was playing anything that really hit this board. I think I'm just going to check call this player all the way down. He checks the turn, he checks the turn, so I know he doesn't have much. I'm just going to put a small blocker bet out there right now in case he was playing an ace and he hit it, which is exactly what happened. Shit. But I think I kept that one as cheap as possible by only betting a small amount into that one. A weak ace isn't going to raise me, and if I do get raised, I know I'm beat. And if I check it, there's a good chance he bets his ace and gets more money out of it. That's a perfect position to play a blocker bet. If you don't have that move in your game, I suggest putting it in there. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Head down to the video description for links to social media and some great poker products, including Hold'em Manager and America's Card Room, where I play. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Share it with anyone who might be interested, and I'll be back with another video soon. But until then, I'll see you out on the virtual felt.